is your lower build workout for today. Dumbbells will be needed. Again, have a variety because we're gonna start off small and build our way up. And bands are completely optional. So if at some point you need to progress a little bit more, but maybe you don't have more weight, or maybe going up in weight is gonna be too much and a band would be just right to add to what you're already doing, go ahead and get those bands ready. Those are completely optional, totally up to you. I will let you know where you can place them if you are going to be using them. But other than that, let's go ahead and dive right on in to today's workout. We're gonna go ahead and get started with today's workout by doing some squat folds. Ready, let's go. Bring it down, fold it forward. Now if you can touch the ground, touch the ground. If not, just go down as far as you possibly can, all right? So very same setup as you did with your upper build, okay? 9 exercises, 2 minutes each. Every 30 seconds, you're gonna hear that progression marker, and I want you to try and progress, okay? Go ahead and give me some modified butt kickers right here, all right? So you're trying to drive that heel towards your glute. All right, have a variety of weights ready. Remember, we start low, we progress up. You can always start with body weight too, totally okay. I want you to get that form down first, then build it up, all right? Go ahead and step it out for me right here. Toes are forward, okay? You're gonna come and sit down. You can make it side to side. Now this is getting you into a lateral lunge position. You will see this later. All right, so toes stay forward when you go into that lateral lunge. You don't roll up, okay? Sit back into this glute and push up and through. Go down as low as you possibly can, okay? If you need to modify, just limit the range of motion. We're gonna do some hinges in 2, 1. Go ahead and give me some hinges. How are you feeling after day 1? Are you so ready? I love lower body, but I've heard a lot of people say that lower body is like their least favorite. So I'd be curious to know, what is yours? What's your least favorite? Upper body, cardio, lower body, core? Let me know. Come into a little quarter squat right here for me. You're gonna take your toe, put it in like midline with your other, press out. All right, press out. You are gonna rotate on that toe, okay? So it's not stationary. Getting a little bit of hip work and getting that other glute fired on. Switch. So I'm literally swiveling on my toes, okay? They're not planted into the ground. If you need to use a wall, use a wall. And give me some good hips. Again, if you need to use a wall, use a wall. And get them nice, loose, ready to go. Your first move will be a general squat. All right, so think about the weight you want to use. And relax, grab a sip of water for me. Pick your weight. Move 1, squats. Ooh, that fell. Squats. So your feet are gonna be a little bit outside of your hips here, okay? Toes are forward. If you need to, for flexibility, slightly out at an angle, okay? Not a lot, just ever so slight, okay? Knees track in line with toes. No weeble wobble. If you need to, this is your range of motion until you're able to get lower without your knees moving. Go for it. Totally up for that, okay? You can also get a chair, sit back into the chair and stand up to get that good form, okay? Rotate your pelvis. You're gonna have a slight hinge at your hips. It's not big, okay? Slight hinge at your hips. Chest stays up. As you lower, push back up. Get as low as you can, okay? We go in 3. I'm gonna do body weight first. I'm gonna talk through the form again. Here we go. Just because squatting I think is one that a lot of people tend to like something, whether it's one thing with like the knees or the back or the core, there's something in the form, okay? So I want you to make sure that as you're doing this, all 4 corners of your feet are planted into that ground, okay? You have 5 before you can progress up. What I mean by that is when you come down, I don't want your toes popping up, okay? If your toes lift up in a squat, that lets me know your core is not getting engaged, okay? Right here, up, here, and up. Good job. If you progressed, see if you can progress again here very soon. You have less than 10. If not, can you try and progress? If not, if this is your sweet spot, stay here. Totally okay. We go in 3. I'm gonna up it. Go little by little. Now, different ways you can hold weight in a squat is a suitcase carry, which is what I'm doing currently. You can also load it up for a front rack. You can load it up to your shoulders. You can also take one and load it up on your back. Now, when it comes to the back, if you're gonna do this, it does not go on your neck. It goes on the top of your shoulders, not on your neck. It is not even, I can put my head back and I'm not touching it, okay? That is because it's not on my neck, so I wanna point that out. I know I said it several times, but it's important, okay? Your next move is gonna be a calf raise. And relax, good job. All right, so now your next one is going to be calf raises, okay? So you're gonna start off light. Again, if you wanna do body weight, feel free to do just body weight, okay? But what you're gonna do, feet are planted underneath of your hips. You're going up into all toes. Don't roll out into those pinky toes, okay? Up, you're gonna slow the descent down, okay? I want you to think up nice and tall, stay nice and tall through your core canister, come up all toes and back down. What I mean, a lot of people will go up and roll out onto their pinky toes. I want you to think about nailing that big toe, okay? Not that I want you solely on your big toe, but I do want you to be able to hit all of those toes, okay? I'm gonna grab a quick sip. So again, focus on it, start low. Ready, 2, 1. Now, you can always start with the weight just like I'm holding it, suitcase carry. You can always load it up front. Now this is gonna challenge your core just a little bit more. Anytime you lift weight up like this, it's gonna challenge your core, okay? You can also put it, like I showed you with the squat, on the top of your shoulders. You get 5 until we increase. So I want you going up and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, can you go up and wait? Can you go up? You can also hold just one dumbbell at your chest too if you want. I know it's such a simple move, but still, I want you to control that descent, get those calves strong enough to where gravity doesn't get to win, all right? Control with balance. Stability. Are you ready? Can we go up again? All right, let's try it. Oh, there we go. Now your next exercise is gonna be an RDL, okay? A Romanian deadlift, okay? It's not a traditional, conventional deadlift. We will do that later, all right? But that hinge that we do a lot of, that's its primary motion, okay? I am actually gonna go up just a little bit more. I'm gonna put it on my back this time. Slow that descent down. Core is nice and engaged. Now at the RDL, you can do one weight, you can do 2. I'm gonna use 2 dumbbells. All right, and relax. Okay, so for an RDL, it is not a traditional deadlift. A lot of people will call it a deadlift. It is not. It is kind of the reverse of it, okay? So for a RDL, you are more hinge than you are squatting, okay? So slight bend in your knees, your feet are underneath your hips. You are acting like you're getting karate chop back, okay? You have a high bar stool chair here, and you're trying to get your glutes to tap and then come in. Your main goal, stretch the hammies, stretch the glutes, okay? Those are your main movers, especially your glutes during this move. Your quads are involved. They're not the prime movers here though, okay? Weights in your hands. You're coming down as you push your hips back. You're going about mid-shin or a little bit higher if you need to, right here. And then you're gonna squeeze through your glutes to come on up. Core has to be engaged the whole time. Rotate that pelvis, nice neutral alignment. If you need to do a body weight first, keep your hands right here as you practice. Ready? Go. Now I'm gonna show you real quick. I'm gonna move this over here. I wanna show you real quick if you need to use a wall. Okay, about a foot, foot and a half, 2 feet, whatever works for you, away from the wall. And this will help you practice because you're gonna reach to try and touch that wall with your glutes. So that gets you that nice, good hinge motion, okay? Right here. Now we're gonna progress. Ready? Can you progress up? Can you progress up? Now hinging is such an important move, okay? It is something we do as a functional movement all the time. However, it is often improperly done. All right, shoulders are back and down. I need you to have a nice neutral position here throughout your spine. All right, I do not want you rounding and arching. All right, keep your shoulders back and down and squeeze your glutes on the way up. All right, can we progress? It's coming up. All right, I'm gonna go up. So one thing I want you to think about, this is a weird thing, all right? This is what I was taught when I was going through all my certs. One of the things that you have to make sure of when you are doing a hinge, one, all 4 corners of your feet are on the ground, but push through your feet, okay? The middle to the heel, in there is where you wanna push. You wanna squeeze your glutes the whole time you're coming up too, okay? I have had a lot of people say, wait, my glutes are so stretched, how do I squeeze them? Okay. This is a really weird example, but this is how I was taught and it clicked. Think about somebody coming to get in the butt, okay? You kind of clinch up when somebody does it, right? So when you're down here, think squeeze to clinch so that I don't get poked in the butt. All right, another thing, when you come up to the top, I don't want you thrusting forward. No. That's gonna slam your femur straight into the front of your hip socket. We don't want that, okay? You are almost done. I'm gonna do a couple just for good measure because I was doing a lot of form there. Your next one is gonna be a lateral lunge, all right? I'm just doing one more for good measure. There we go. All right. Lateral lunges. So you're gonna do side to side. I'm gonna give you the option. You can either step out and step out, all right, or stay wide here. This is the modified way, and you're gonna come down and up. It takes the burden of having to push to come back up, especially if you have issues with your ankles or mobility issues. Stay in that wide stance, okay? You can hold 1 weight on the inside. You can hold 2 and wrap around. You can load it up. You can put it on your shoulders, or you can hold it at your chest. If you hold it at your chest or your shoulders, don't let it bring you forward, okay? You're about to go soon. I'm gonna talk through form because I want you to make sure you get this, because if you don't, you could really mess up your ankles, okay? 2, 1, go. You are hitting both sides, okay? You're not just doing one side, you're alternating. So as you do this move, how wide you step totally depends on you, your flexibility, your fitness level, mobility, all that stuff, okay? However, when you do come out, toes are forward, all right? Don't let them flip out at all. The foot that you're coming onto, the leg that you're coming onto, you wanna make sure that that knee tracks in line with your toes, meaning it's not doing this. Outside leg, you're strong on that foot, all right? You're not breaking and coming inside because that is going to wreck your ankle, all right? Additionally, make sure you're progressing if you can. When you're coming out, you have a slight hinge at your hips, core is nice and engaged, slight rotation here. As you come out, you're sitting into this glute. This foot is what propels you and pushes you up, okay? Let that glute help you get up. I need you to sit into it, no rounding. I need you to stay nice and tall, okay? Progress if you can, all right? I'm going to go up. I'm gonna put it on my back. especially when alternating. For me, it just makes it easier instead of having to keep passing the weight back and forth. All right, and I don't really like using 2 for lateral lunges, and it's just a personal preference. It's not that you can't, it is my own personal preference. All right, so you're either stepping it out like that or you're right here. And if you need to modify with that little small range of motion, go for it. Totally okay to do. But if not, you're coming on down and sitting as low as you can and pushing up. Really focus on that glute, helping you get back up, okay? There you go. Almost done, almost done. That deadlift is coming up next. All right. And relax. Awesome job. Okay, deadlift. A lot of people kind of are weary about this move. Start light, even if it's body weight, okay? So, deadlift is very similar to an RDL. You start on the ground though, okay? Conventional deadlift, you're lifting from a dead stance, meaning the weight is dead, it's not in motion, there's nothing acting on it or your muscles, okay? So, you're gonna get your weight lined up. I like to put my toes on the outside or right in line with the very last part of my dumbbell, okay? Figure out which stance works best for you. When you come down, notice how I do have a hinge at my hips, but I'm in a more squatted position. Deadlifts are quad heavy, okay? You're gonna grab right here, pull your shoulders back and down. As you come up, you're bringing the weight close to your body, stand tall. Okay, weight stays close. Let's go, right here. Pull it up, stay close, okay? So it's more of a squatting motion. However, you're right here, so you still have a hinge and a squat, but you're not here. All right, so you're still in that squat, you're just not here, okay? So, butt is still a little bit up. Like I said, I line my weights like this, find the width that works best for you, and then I put my toes right on the outside, so they're a little bit wider than my hips. All right, progress if you can. And then act like you're pulling it back and down because you're gonna try and break the bar, okay? And when I say that, I mean as if you were to have a bar. I'll show you from the side again. I'm gonna up it though, because I definitely need to. All right, you have 5 before you do it again, okay? So watch me if you need to. I'm getting it set up. So typically if you use a bar, you're gonna act like you're trying to break the bar, which will help you engage your lats too, okay? So right here, keep the weight nice, close. Core is nice and engaged. Keep the weight close, keep the weight close. Notice how I still hinge, but I also have more of a dominant bend in my knees than I do with an RDL, okay? Almost time to progress if you can. This is more quad heavy. So yes, you will feel it in your hammies and in your glutes, but you should feel it more in your quads. All right, so you're not here. All right, you are coming down, more bend at your knees than hinging at your hips, okay? You're almost done. Then we go to the ground, fire hydrant. All right, and relax. Okay, so fire hydrant, if you want, place a band on your thighs, right above your knees. If not, you're going to come on down to the ground, and eventually you can add weight right in the crook of your knee to be able to do this, okay? You're gonna alternate sides, quad position. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, all right? No weeble wobbling. Widen your stance if you need to here. All right, core is nice and engaged. You're bringing it out, in, land underneath your hips. Notice how I'm not rocking, I'm not leaning out like this. I'm strong here. Weight's over my hands, not back in my knees or my feet. All right, core is engaged. All right, you have 5. I'm gonna show you from the side real quick. 2, 1, go. So right here, rotate that pelvis, engage that core, strong in your base. Out, down, out, down. If you need to modify this, little lift, okay? Doesn't have to be out. I don't want you kicking up higher than your hip if you can get it to be in line with your hip, okay? I don't want that. I want it hip height or below. And if you need to be right here, that's okay. Slow the descent down. Now progress if you can. If you can add a band, add a band. If you want, grab your dumbbells. Now if you're gonna do this, it can be uncomfortable, so play around with it. Use bands if you need to. You're gonna place them in the crook here, okay? Right here, just like this. You're going to flex your feet. So that means you're acting like you're bringing your toes towards your shin. Lock it in, okay? Right here, you're gonna lift, down. Lift, down. Can you progress any? There you go. Again, don't lean out. Focus on your glute med, helping you to pull that out. Okay, that's a little part of your glute that's on this side. It's helping you to lift, okay? I want you to really focus on it. I'm gonna see if I can go up a little bit, and you can always use just bands. You can use dumbbells and bands, all right? But I want you to play around with what works for you, all right? After this, you're going onto the ground for a glute bridge. Almost there. And relax. Awesome job. Okay, so next, glute bridge. I want you to do this without weight first, okay? I want you to do it. Feel it properly, okay? Again, come on down to the ground how you need to. If you have any diastasis, recti, or pelvic floor issues, okay? So again, no weight first, all right? Rotate your pelvis. I want your pelvis to, as if you're tucking your glutes underneath you, all right? And you're flattening your back against the ground, okay? Engage your core. So if you don't know how to do 360 breathing, TVA breath work, embracing, up in your welcome center, all those videos are there. But essentially, act like you're tightening up a corset and you're gonna push up. Ready? Get set, because it's coming up. I want you body weight first. All right, 2, 1, let's go. Right here. Now, when it comes to a glute bridge, you have to maintain this pelvis position the whole time. So when you lower, your low back should also lower with your glutes, okay? You're squeezing your glutes up, squeeze even more at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, all right? You're gonna repeat that. Now you're coming up to your progression. So if you want to add weight, add weight. If you're gonna add weight, either put it right here across your lower abdomen or up here on your thighs, okay? You can also hold weight up overhead, which will engage your core just a little bit more, okay? Now, if you notice while you're doing this, your shoulders are shooting up and you're sliding, that means that your feet are too far out and you need to walk them in a little bit, okay? Also, the goal here is not to shoot your hips up as high as they can go. It is to go up into a good neutral alignment and squeeze. Notice how I'm in a neutral alignment here. I'm not trying to shove up as far as I can and get this low arch in my back. When you start to get that low arch in your back, those low back muscles are now trying to help do the move for you instead of your glutes. They're trying to take over. We want to be glute focused here, with the glutes being the primary mover. You have another progression coming up, okay? After this, we're actually gonna go to a hammy bridge next. So you're gonna stay in this position and you're gonna be walking your feet out, not to where your quads are gonna take over, but we're gonna really hit those hammies. All right. Good job. You're almost there. Slow that descent down. Slow, slow, slow. and relax. Okay, next move, you're still here on the ground. What you're gonna do, you're walking your feet out enough to where you cannot place them down flat. I cannot get my feet flat unless I force it, and even then they won't stay flat, okay? You're gonna be pushing in through your heels, okay? You're digging your heels down into the ground. Everything else is the same as the glute bridge. So rotate that pelvis, get your back flat, core is engaged. Think about your ribs coming down to your hips and your hip bones coming in together, okay? Really get that nice, good engagement, and you're gonna press through your heels. You're not gonna get up high, okay? Keep this neutral alignment with your pelvis. That is so important for this one. Squeeze your glutes, but your hammies are gonna take over, okay? Now, if you need to modify, I want you to bring one leg up. You're gonna relax it right here, but I need you to push through this leg, okay? This leg's gonna support you and take the load off. All right, ready? Let's go. Now, so I'm showing you real quick. I want you to do without weight right now, okay? If you need to modify this leg, it's gonna be so easy for you to place all the weight here. I want you to place it in the hammy one, okay? Dig that heel in, let this leg be support if you need it, okay? And just keep switching every time you hear that progression if you need to, okay? So if you're doing one at a time, every time you hear that progression marker, then switch to the other leg. And then try and do both, and if not, just go back to one at a time. All right? Did you progress up? Can you add weight to this? All right? I'm going to go ahead and add weight. This is gonna get those hammies going. Now, it's important that you do have enough distance out to where it's your hammies kicking on and not your quads. Your quads are gonna feel it, okay? But I don't want them to be the dominant movers. You'll know if you move, okay? But again, I want you to dig those heels in. Did you go up? Did you progress? There we go, keep pushing. If you do not feel this in your hammies, I want you to first dig your heels into the ground as if you're trying to dig them in and pull them to your glutes. You're not actually pulling them to your glutes, but that's the motion you're gonna do, and push up and down. Like, my good night, my hammies are screaming. I'm gonna try and go up. Let's see. I just got so many weights, oh my goodness. And then you just have one move left after this. How does that feel? Ready? Good job. Again, dig those heels in. That's what's gonna help activate those hammies. Remember, some of the moves, go ahead and relax. Some of the moves that you have done in today's workout are gonna be part of your building blocks. Can you guess which ones? All right, try and make some room, because you're gonna have what's called angled squat walks, okay? You're gonna be doing little squats, so I want you to have enough room. I don't want you tripping over any dumbbells. If you wanna wear a band, you're gonna put it right above your knees here, okay? As you progress, you can always hold one dumbbell, two dumbbells, load it up, put it on your back, whatever you need to do, okay? So, you're coming into a half squat right here. You're gonna go at an angle, and then an angle. Notice how my toes still face forward. I'm just going at an angle. I want you to get different planes of motion in here, okay? Get those muscles a little bit more activated. Again, you can place a band on if you want, resistance band or a glute band, up to you. We got 3, and then we finish this workout. Are you ready? Let's go. So, you're in a good squat here. All right, notice how I'm not caving my chest over. I'm keeping my chest nice and tall. All right, I'm not rounding, I am not arching, okay? My core is nice and engaged. I'm rotating my pelvis here. I have a nice slight hinge. As I step, I go heel toe, and I stay low. When I come together, I'm in a narrow squat here. All right, I'm letting my heel lead, and then I'm following, okay? You're doing good. Keep going for me, okay? When the progression markers go off, when the progression markers go off, feel free to either add a band, add weight, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and snag some weight. Again, you can hold it at your chest. If you're gonna hold it at your chest, or put it on your back. Again, I need you to not let it take you forward, okay? Don't let it take you forward. And if you need to stay right there in those walks, do it. Totally okay if you don't add anything. Just know that's your starting point and you're gonna progress it, okay? Over the next 6 weeks, we're gonna get it to where this move, you're able to add more, okay? You're doing great, okay? You have 5 until your last progression, okay? Breathe and keep moving, stay low. I don't want you standing up unless you absolutely have to, okay? It's little, all right? Little movements. Use the space you have. If you can only go up and back, go up and back. Just make sure you alternate which foot you step forward with, all right? Breathe. You're almost done. Get lower if you can, get lower if you can. Ready? And relax. Woo! You did it, mama. All right. That one is done. Come on down, give me a big inhale, up. Exhale, give me in one more. All the way down for me. Come down as low as you can get, okay? You are doing good. Workout 2 is done. I want you to be proud of that, okay? Some people, maybe not you, but there are some people out there who it is so hard for them to press play, press start, to get back in the gym after the first workout, okay? Especially if they haven't worked out in a while, I want you to go ahead and come on down. Deep squat right here, as far down as you can get. If this is uncomfortable for you, I want you to put a yoga block. You can even put a dumbbell underneath your glutes and sit on it, a pillow, something, okay? That'll help. But if you haven't worked out in a while, or maybe you were focusing a lot on your form, so you're getting a lot more work out of the muscles, maybe slowing down on the eccentric phase for all these moves has caused some soreness in you, that's called DOMS, okay? It's delayed onset of muscle soreness. It is so common. It does not mean that you did something wrong, okay? Go ahead, sit down very, very carefully. I want you to take one leg, you're gonna kick it out to the side. The further out to the side, the more you're gonna feel it in your adductors. I want your toes up to the sky, okay? Lead with your chest here, don't round forward. But DOMS is very common. What you're doing when you're lifting weights is you're creating little micro tears within the muscles, okay? And these little micro tears is basically how the muscle is gonna get stronger. So that pain you feel is a mixture of those micro tears as well as hydrogen ion buildup, okay? It is not the lactic or lactate acid. I mean, there is a buildup in there, but they've been able to find that it's actually the hydrogen in there more than it is the lactate that's in there. They also found that lactate is more of the culprit over lactic acid, okay? I know, if you haven't heard any of that stuff, just ignore what I just said. All right, go ahead and switch, but don't worry. What I want you to make sure of if you get DOMS at any point in time is I do not want you to stop exercising unless it is unbearably painful, like sharp stabbing pain. You can't even get out of bed. It is so painful. If that's the case, then yes, rest. But if it's like, oh man, I'm sore today. I'm sore. Then I want you to keep pushing, because what's gonna happen is if you stop because you're sore, you're gonna get sore again the next time. And then the next time, and you're gonna take long breaks, and then come back, and then eventually you're gonna get discouraged because I just keep getting sore, and then I keep getting breaks, and then I keep getting sore, and then I keep taking breaks. It's gonna happen. Push through it. If you have to, lighten up on the load. Go ahead, kick it straight out for me again. Lead with your chest here. If you need to, lighten up the load. Okay, don't lift as much. All right. If you need to, do more stretching after we're done. Do some mobility work. Stay very hydrated. Eat your protein. Get your protein in, all right? And don't skip on the carbs. Don't do it, okay? But make sure you're getting plenty of sleep. Take a warm shower, do some mobility work, do some foam rolling, all right? Try, if you're feeling it really, really bad, go ahead, I want you to come up real quick. We're gonna go into a lunge, a runner's lunge right here. If you're feeling it really, really bad, you can also pop up like this too, if you want. If not, right here. Then try next time to not lift as much so quickly, or maybe just not lift as much, because maybe that was, you overdid it with how much you weighed, or not weighed, lifted in weights, and that could also be a cause for how bad it gets, okay? Go ahead and push back. Even people who have worked out very consistently can get it, okay? Typically you get it when you challenge yourself with heavier weights, when you're new to exercise, when you try a whole new program, or maybe you did a lot of strength training and then you go to cardio for a while, or cardio to strength. It can happen when you change something up, okay? Breathe. Good job. I want you to push up, bring your feet together for me. I am going to count you up. As I count you up, I want you to roll through your spine, trying to come up one vertebrae at a time, okay? So very slow, okay? Ready? Come on up for 5. Don't forget about your neck. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. You are all done with today's workout. Of course, if you need to stretch some more, go cool down before you sit down, okay? Walk it off. Make sure you stay hydrated. Get some protein in you. Day 2 is done. I'm ready for day 3. I don't know about you, but thank you for being here and for pushing yourself. I am so proud of you for pushing play again, okay? You're doing awesome. You're doing great. Let's keep it going. I will see you right back here for our next workout together. Have a great day, night, week, weekend, whenever it is for you, and I'll see you very soon.